Hey, fellow golfers, this is Robbie from Best Ball. One of the most popular names in the golf accessory market today is Western Birch. Stop reaching in your pocket for boring plastic or plain white golf tees and elevate your game with premium wooden golf tees from Western Birch. You can customize both the hardwood and bamboo tees with one of their signature stripe patterns in a wide variety of colors. These tees are stylish enough to stand apart from the crowd, traditional enough to align with golf's heritage, and durable enough to make you forget about using anything else. Enter the code BESTBALL in the promo field in your shipping cart to add a free gift to your order. So visit westernbirch.com and get your own premium wood golf tees in the style that suits your game.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to see the city transform and kind of get into tournament mode. Being a member at Champions, it's gotten a little more special because now we almost get 2 weeks of
Yeah.
this Masters hype with the ANWA going out there. Which, if you ask if some members, it's kind of a love hate because we lose our course for a whole week. Um, so we're all itching to play golf. There's great weather, and we're kind of sitting at home just chomping at the bit to get out there, but you can't beat it. You can't beat the hype. You can't beat really going out to Champions and watching these tournament rounds and seeing how it dresses up. Um, it's really a good example of how the city as a whole just kind of gets together and puts on a show for a week. It's really awesome to see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show of the Whole Story Podcast. I'm Jonathan, hanging out here with my buddy Robbie, as usual, up in Columbia, South Carolina. I got a special guest today, Zach, and it's Masters Week. I've got my little logo on and the homage to the Masters on my hat here. So we brought in a local from Augusta, Georgia, to talk more about the Masters. Zack Tully. He has, if you haven't found it yet, you should go find it on social media, the Augusta Golf Collective. He's been around the golf world for quite a while here in the Augusta Evans. If you say people that don't know, he lives in Evans, but everybody calls it Augusta unless you're from Evans. Then you're like, no, I don't live there. But anyway, Zach is local and has some insight into what's going on in the Augusta golf world. So, Zach, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Look forward to chatting. Local insight. Everyone's got some local insight this time of year, so we'll see if we can bring some new stuff to the table.
Even people that aren't local, they've always got something they've heard or
Oh
read
yeah,
somewhere, right? Yeah.
that's right.
Everybody's
So,
local except for the badges. They might not have those.
Yeah.
so let's talk about, obviously, you're connected to golf in so many different ways. When did your passion and love for golf start? Were you the kid with the at 2 years old swinging clubs in the living room, or did you come to this a little bit later in life?
No, I wish that was the case. Yeah, I played, football, baseball coming up. Kind of found golf around 12 or 13 years old. Um, and kind of kicked baseball to the curb, decided I wanted to focus on golf. Just loved the idea of hitting a still ball. I couldn't, I was a good fielder, but at the plate, I struggled. So I found it a little easier to hit something on a tee. So we picked up golf, ran with it, played through middle school and high school, and just loved it ever since.
That's
Uh,
awesome. So,
yeah.
how did you take the passion for golf, right? That never ends. If you get into it, like it's one of those addictive things that you can't get out. But how did you take that and translate it to the Augusta Golf Collective?
Right. So obviously everyone every high schooler that gets into golf and takes it seriously plays all the junior tournaments like I did. You want to play college golf, and certainly had those aspirations. Had the scores and the talent. I just kind of closed off my options, trying to stay close to home, and it ended up not working out in the end. So I ended up going off to school. I went to UGA, so worked out there. Got to go to my dream school as a childhood Bulldog fan. And kind of there, I studied marketing and through Terry, and knowing I was going to come back home and work in the family business, which is building supplies here in Augusta. I kind of knew there wasn't exactly necessarily a big need to apply that degree. Obviously, it helps, um, in many cases, but just kind of took it from there and said, how can I apply what I'm doing up here in school to my passion, which is golf? So towards the end of my schooling, I started the Instagram page just on a whim, really to get back into golf. I'd kind of fallen out of it. It's phases, it's cyclical, how much you love it. Now I don't take time off, but I took a few years off where I played 4 or 5 times a year max for like 2 years there. And I really missed it. So I got back into it. And yeah, just starting that Instagram page kind of helped me stay accountable, let me go post here wherever I go, and kind of do it that way, almost like a journal of sorts. And then 5, 6 months go by, I decided to turn it into a logo. And I came out with the first tee shirt we did, which has the road sign on it, Gene Sarazen quote. It was really cool how it just kind of popped in my head, and I just rolled with it. And that was March of 2019. So we launched it right before the Masters there. And since then, that one took off, and it's just kind of snowballed into this whole thing now. It's a lot of fun to do, and certainly very proud of it, but love to keep doing it, and I'm excited to see where we can take it.
Suddenly your marketing degree became a little bit more marketable, right?
That's right. That is right.
So what would you say is the core, for those that aren't familiar with it, what's the core of the business?
Well, essentially it's it's inspired by Augusta is the way I do it. Being local, I don't like to be the guy that comes in and like tries to rip off the Masters and like, look at this, I don't know, ingenuine stuff. And I try and keep it Augusta inspired, but not like a direct knockoff. So there's certainly a lot of motifs and themes from the tournament, but mainly the city and of course golf. So I just kind of sprinkle it all together and just come up with stuff. It's lifestyle based. Do a lot of t-shirts and hats. So really off the course stuff. It's just a way to express creativity, and everyone wants to buy a nice golf shirt when you go play somewhere or what have you. But anything like me, I find myself in a t-shirt a lot off the course, and why not? You want to wear the Masters logo on a polo or the nice course you just played. Why not wear a t-shirt that kind of shows your passion in a creative, I guess, animated or descriptive way? It's just a unique way to apply it. And I think we do well with the designs, and that's definitely the main driver of our success over the past 5 years.
You mentioned not trying to knock off the Masters. For those of you who don't know, there's actually other golf courses in the area too, not just the National. You mentioned before you remember out there at Champions Retreat. I saw some stuff online. You were at Old Barnwell. So talk more about, where do you think Augusta's going with, obviously the Nationals here. We never hope it leaves. We love it every single year. But where do you see the rest of the golf courses and golf in general in Augusta heading?
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time growing up at Jones Creek. My childhood, or I guess childhood, my high school age coach was Greg Heeman. He was the head pro over there. So spent a lot of time there growing up playing the course. So I hated to see it close down in I think it was 2017. We lost Jones Creek, which now looking back, if they could have just made it to COVID, man, they would be killing it right now with that location. And it's a great layout. The generally are always in good shape, but there's room for more. There's definitely room for more. Since COVID, the way the game's just boomed and taken off, everyone seems to have attached themselves to it and want to play it now, which is great, but it's driving the cost of everything up, it's creating room for places like Old Barnwell and Tree Farm to pop up kind of on a whim, which they're great. I love them, and I think they'll do well for years to come, but we definitely need some more golf like around Augusta. Aiken's kind of, putting it to us right now with all these new places popping up. They have that other one, 21 Club, Kings Collin Design is going to pop up, and we're just kind of getting left behind. We have, I guess, the same big three outside of the National. We got Champions, Westlake, and the Country Club as far as the private tracks, and still as big as Columbia County's got, and we still only have Bartram Trail over there, which is, it's always busy.
Always.
So we could use one more, certainly.
I keep saying there should be more public courses that have the same model as like a Sweetens Cove or a Landman, that kind of pre-sell their tee sheet, because it's such a nice course that people want to go play it, but it's still public, so everybody has access. You just got to be ready to jump on it. Yeah,
absolutely. And I could see the game kind of shifting towards that, where these 9-hole courses or these par 3 short courses pop up. Because really the game's it seems like it's changing more towards entertainment and less for, not taking the sport out of it, but it's people are realizing it's hard to commit to a 4.5 hour or 18-hole round on the weekend. You got to buy a whole set of clubs. Now it's 90 to $100 to go play. And I think like a 9-hole short course would really, you get the family involved. In theory, it's low cost to go out. You play 9 holes under the lights or something for 40 or $50. I think you could see some of those start to pop up. Maybe a little more sustainable as far as upkeep and as far as much land it takes. But those would be sweet to see a few of those pop up.
Jonathan and I keep talking about it. One day we hope to pull something off, but we'll see.
We've got some plans. I had a chance to play. I've got family in Arizona, and I was out at Rolling Hills and got a chance to play 9:30 at night and play till midnight. And I talked to the
new grass clippings.
It was so great. The thing that the pro at the shop was talking to me about, he's like, our busy time starts at 5 o'clock now, because you can get off work and you're no longer rushed. If you're off work, especially in the fall at any given time before time change or anything like that, you're like, okay, maybe I can squeeze in 6 holes. But to your point, if you had a short course, you could come in and within 60 to 90 minutes be able to play. Robbie played, what was it, Pinehurst? I always forget the name of it.
The Cradle?
The Cradle, right? Like those types of concepts. So maybe the Augusta Collective could pull together all of their members and you guys could come up with a nice little par 3.
That really be something.
So one of the things you mentioned before we started recording was I guess the Augusta Collective has a golf league. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So a few years into that, starting AGC, I came up with the idea of doing the collective club. Really, it stemmed from a lot of my friends that I played with growing up had moved on or moved away. They're off at school playing golf or chasing new interests or whatever it is. And I was here, so I didn't really have many folks to play with. So I was like, let's try and start something with just some local guys. We'll meet occasionally. We don't play on set days, but we started with 30 members the first year, and now in year 4 or season 4, which is going on now, we have 145 members. So a little bit more difficult to manage. Certainly for a guy that's not very good with names. It's hard remembering everybody when I see them out there, but it is a lot of fun just to see the guys come out and support. Everyone's rocking some AGC merch in some way or another, and we're really there just having a good time and enjoying the game.
Do y'all partner with local courses to put these events on, or can people just play anywhere?
So we play an 8-week or an 8 window, so it's 3 weeks long per course. We jump around courses. Pretty much all the public tracks, the river, which we're about to lose that one here in a month or so, going private, but Barcher, Macon Golf Club, places like that, we kind of jump around, and it's kind of getting to the point where I do need to work out with some of these courses and try and, see if we can block off a day, because I'll put in the group chat, anyone want to go play the league round on Saturday, and we'll have 60 guys jump on it, and it's hard to book tee times for 60 guys at once. So certainly getting harder to coordinate, but it's not a terrible problem to have.
You're turning into your own senior league, right? The 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday, and no one can get a tee time because everybody over 65 is out playing.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about the Masters. This is our Masters special. Should be listening to this probably while you're waiting in line to get onto Azalea Drive if you're here in town, or Washington Road. As a local, let's talk about how you see the city changing, the atmosphere, and just general excitement that happens around the Masters.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to see the city transform and kind of get into tournament mode, which I haven't been noticing. I don't know if everyone's putting the golf cart, all the businesses putting out golf carts. That used to be the telltale sign of the tournament was coming. I haven't been seeing many, which they may pop up this week. But being a member at Champions, it's gotten a little more special because now we almost get 2 weeks of this Masters hype with the ANWA going out there. Which if you ask some members, it's kind of a love-hate because we lose our course for a whole week. So we're all itching to play golf. There's great weather, and we're kind of sitting at home just chomping at the bit to get out there. But you can't beat it. You can't beat the hype. You can't beat really going out to Champions and watching these tournament rounds and seeing how it dresses up. It's really a good example of how the city as a whole just kind of gets together and puts on a show for a week. It's really awesome to see.
Well, I know this episode will actually come out first day, Thursday of the Masters, but I'll go ahead and ask you anyway. Will you get out there and watch some of the Anwa?
Yeah, so I'll be at the Thursday round at Champions, see who makes the cut. I believe it's top 30 and ties again this year,
Yeah.
which last year or 2 years ago, there was a great playoff. There's like 6 girls that made the playoff. It was really intense. And then we'll go out to the National on Saturday for the final round, which has become honestly the most popular day to go now. Everyone's caught on. It's almost coined as the locals day, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the first shopping day. The course is untouched, and everyone's kind of trying to get out there and see the ladies play. So we'll be there, and then I just found out about an hour ago I'm going Saturday for the main tournament. So pretty juiced up about that.
Man, very nice, very nice. Yeah, we had three of the ladies that are playing this week join us for some special interviews. So for those that are listening to this one, go back and check them out. Hopefully, they did well in their ANWA experience. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So as again, you've been around for a while now. What are some of the changes that you've noticed with the Augusta National over, say, the last 10, 15, 20 years?
It's getting it's getting bigger. There's a lot more parking. They're buying a lot more land.
Yeah.
It seems like everything right of I-20 they're trying to acquire is kind of the rumor. Um, but no, I mean, it's really cool to see how it's all driven just by public interest and coming to Augusta and watching. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but in my opinion, the greatest sporting event in the world. It's right down the street from us. It's very cool. Um, but it is getting harder to get out there just by nature of it. Every year, it seems like the Tiger announces he's playing, the tickets immediately spike, which I don't know how many more years of that we're going to be getting. He could be running out of his time, but hey, they said that in 2019 and he pulled it off. But no, it's really cool to see where the city could go and where what the Nationals are going to try and do. With them jumping on the municipal course and trying to fix up things there. I've heard some rumors with Forest Hills, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch it all play out in the next 4 or 5 years or so.
Yeah, I just played the patch yesterday. The greens are as hard and as small as they normally are, but they were in pretty good shape. But there's a lot of anticipation, both the staff and folks just hanging out, of how the relationship with the National is going to play out on that. I kept thinking instead of them dumping all the sand from the Masters somewhere else, they should just refill the sand out there at the patch, right? Because maybe then you could actually hit a golf shot out of sand. It's not very good condition right now.
Supposed to avoid the sand.
Well, let's not get carried away. We're always going to find the sand.
Yep.
So let's talk about, for those of you who haven't gone, you should, any chance you get to go, you should. But what was your first experience like walking onto the National?
I get asked that a lot, but it's almost like every year is the first time because you every time you walk in, it's just so special. And I always come in the same gate right there by the driving range, and that walk in is you're just blown away by the driving range.
Yeah.
I go with people that have never been and like, wait, is this it? I'm like, dude, this is the driving range. Just wait till we turn the corner and see the real deal. But it's incredible. I love getting in there and just kind of taking it all in. I tend to make my way down to Amen Corner just like everyone else, and it's just, I mean, it's like you're sitting on the set of a movie or something. It's almost like it's not even real.
What's the best experience you've had there?
I've gone to the par 3 a few days, and I think kind of my early high school, maybe late middle school, I went to the par 3 and we somehow got seats right off the first green. We booked it out there and virtually gave a high five or got a ball from half the pros that came through. So that was a really cool experience for a young golfer that, kind of could name everybody. Like, oh, here comes this guy. So that's always special. And then, I don't know, special moments. We got to see Tiger in 2019. I've actually never been on Sunday. We have a tradition where we kind of grill out and watch it at home and make like a whole day of it. So I've been on a few tournament days and I've seen some special shots, but to me, my favorite memory is honestly sitting at home on Sunday and watching everybody try and get the green jacket. It's really something.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. We talked about that with our Masters Roundtable, how you want to go, but there's no technology. You
Yeah.
don't not there are a couple roars that you notice, like whenever Rory or Tiger or someone like that's doing well on the other side of the course. But then you're just gonna find a white leaderboard and see what happened instead of,
Mhm.
normally looking at your phone or looking at tweets and what everybody's talking about at the moment. So yeah, Sunday at home on a TV isn't a bad way to watch either.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we went my wife and I went to Boston a few years back for the US Open, and we went on Sunday, and I was like, normally I don't go on Sunday, but it fell on my birthday, so we went, and it really was incredible. We had the little radios, and they're updating us from what's happening on 15,
That's
16.
awesome.
I'm like, all right, this is kind of like being at home, but it's right here. Like the National, you don't get that. You got to pick your spot and kind of hold it down.
Yeah, I don't think they'd let people rent headphones in order to listen live. I think that's the way
No.
they go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you talk about technology on the course or the lack of that they have there, but Augusta National, the Masters have used technology in such an incredible way. Their app has to be the best golf or sports app out there, and just everything they do with their website and the interactive stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Could you see them taking? And maybe the Masters doesn't want to, but could you see that being applied? It needs to be to the PGA Tour and other professional golf.
God, I would hope so. The PGA Tour app is a mess. I liked it a lot better before they did the update, I guess this
Yeah,
year or last year. But now you hit the nail on the head. The Masters, for them being so, I guess, vintage in their ways and not allowing phones out there, which I love, and I hope they never do. But they crush it in the technology department, and I really wish the tour would take some notes and copy and paste to that format.
yeah, it'd be a lot better than what it is now because you hear different people or different groups talking about how do you fix professional golf and the technology side. I think there's capabilities there, and they want to have more interaction, want to be more involved with the players, less commercials, obviously. Which again, you talk about TV coverage of the Masters, it's amazing because a very limited commercial interruption, but there's so many things that pro golf could do better that, again, the Masters does so well. That's part of the reason you love it, right?
Hmm. Exactly, and I think the Masters, it's kind of, I don't know, it's almost unfair to compare the tour to that because the National, I mean, you're almost talking they've got live money. It's unlimited over there, and they can spend it on technology. They can say no to commercials. They can do the extended broadcasts. They can give us live coverage at 9 in the morning, which I watch live on the range till it goes off at night. So the PGA Tour, they got to fight a little more and get the income, which I get, but yeah, the Masters just top to bottom is just world class.
Well, speaking of world class, we always like to ask everyone, what is your most memorable golf shot? I'm assuming this probably wasn't at the National, but maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, so I haven't had the pleasure or honor to play the National yet, which my friend has, and he tells me about it just about every day. Um, but no, most memorable shot was a few years ago, and it was a tournament out at Champions, kind of like a Ryder Cup, one day Ryder Cup. We do the over 50-year-olds versus the under 50-year-olds, and it's a 27-hole deal. And on the 26th hole, I made my first hole in one to send us one up in the match, and I'll never forget that. It was the best 9 iron I've ever hit.
That's awesome. Which hole was it?
It was number 2 on the creek side,
Okay.
playing 167 yards. The shadow was kind of casting on the hole, so we thought it went in, but we weren't sure. So when I got up to the green, it was even more exciting.
Hey, golf friends. This is Robbie from Best Ball. Are you looking for the ultimate Myrtle Beach golf experience? Well, it's only a click away. Check out the two-play special at two of America's most awarded public golf courses and two of my personal favorites. Caledonia Golf and Fish Club and True Blue Golf Club are low country masterpieces featuring two iconic Mike Strantz designs. Play these two incredible courses for one great price. Visit truebluegolf.com to learn more about the two-play special and book your tee time today. That's truebluegolf.com. Well, cool. Well, one other thing we'd like to do with our guest, I don't know if you've listened, but we do this thing called a quick nine. Jonathan mentioned it earlier. Just kind of a rapid fire answer as much as you want or as little as you want in these answers, but I'll start. So favorite course that you've played?
Favorite course that I've played, Muirfield Village.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
How about your bucket list course?
The National.
Yeah.
What's number 2 on the bucket list?
Yeah, that's kind of like a given. I guess I would probably say Pine Valley.
Okay.
I'd love to
Okay.
see that one.
All right. How much would you pay to play Augusta National?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I've been told it's almost like the price to get there is not the issue. It's getting the invite. So how much would I pay for someone to invite me to come out there? Probably enough for my wife to get mad at me, and she doesn't get mad at me often.
That's usually the answer. We asked this, I remember last year, and everyone started creeping up, trying to figure out how much they could spend without their wife either knowing about it or just below the threshold where she'd completely disown you.
Isn't
That's
that
right.
like Tiger's response to playing for money? It's like whatever it's going to take to make you nervous. Like that's kind of the
Hmm.
same type answer.
That's a great answer, though. What is your favorite hole at Augusta National?
Favorite hole. I mean, I don't want to be basic and say 12. I love number 12. Um, I really love 15. I love 15. I mean, Amen Corner, gets all the praise on Sunday, but at 15, to me, you can win the tournament on 15 if you hit a great drive and hit a good iron, make an eagle. You can really put yourself in the mix. So I love 15.
All right. Who's your all-time favorite professional golfer?
Tiger Woods, all time favorite. I loved the AK hype when I was in high school. I loved him for a few years. I love the Spieth hype. I love the Scotty hype now, but all time favorite's Tiger.
Who would be in your dream foursome?
Dream foursome. Probably I would play with. I keep giving my dad a hard time because I keep trying to get better each year and he just keeps getting worse. But definitely I'd have him in there just because he's a great time and you got to have your pops in there. So I'd have him. I'd like to have Larry David in there. I think he'd be a great time. And God, who would be the fourth? I'd probably go with Tiger just to watch him play.
Wouldn't be a bad thing to be that close, right?
Yeah.
Random story. I met Larry David in London one time. I took the family and we were in the Churchill War Museum and we were checking in and I hear this voice and I'm like, what? And I turn around and there he is. And it was, I mean, exactly how he appears to be. It was
That's
awesome. It was
hilarious.
awesome. Yep. All right. What is the most popular Augusta Golf Collective design or shirt?
So it's probably a tie between the first one we did with the road sign, which is called Welcome to Augusta. It's just got a nice, almost like an oil painting look of the exit 199. It says, "You don't come to Augusta to find your game. You come here because you've got one." Gene Sarazen. So that's always been a bestseller. And then in 2019, I call it the Back in History. It says H15TORY at the top. So when Tiger won, him doing the pose on 18, and it's got a bunch of quotes around him kind of saying he'd never win again. So that one was pretty sweet too.
Those are
It's
good
awesome.
awesomes. What is your favorite snack on the course?
Favorite snack on the course: chicken salad with buffalo sauce.
With buffalo sauce.
Yep, I get pretty much every time I get. I don't do the sandwich. I do just a scoop with buffalo sauce on it or hot sauce, either way.
Nice. All right. Final question. Favorite golf course logo?
Ooh, that is a good one. Probably I'm gonna stay off of Augusta. I love the members logo more than the America logo. They're both classic. But I'm sitting here looking around my room. I love Boston Golf Club's logo. It's very simple, it's very clean. And I love what's another good one? Man, there's I mean, I'm a freak about logos. I love them. My wife hates my hat collection. I try I buy Tervis tumblers every place I go. That's kind of the thing. I said no more hats, I'll get cups. But Boston Golf Club's up there, and I'm gonna stick with the home team. I love Champions logo.
They've got a good one.
The one you got there, the Tree Monster, is pretty good too.
Yeah, the Tree Farm's hard to beat. Both of theirs are really good.
Yep. And Old Barnwell. Everybody's coming out with great logos.
Yeah, they figured out the key to selling merch is a good logo.
Yep. Well, we do have a bonus question. This would be the tiebreaker on number whatever 18, whenever you got to go back and drive it through the woods. Who will win the 2024 Masters?
I think I'm going to have to go with Scotty Scheffler. If he can bring the putter, if the putter makes the trip, it's not going to be close. But I do like Joaquin Niemann giving it a run, and Hideki and Rahm will be in the mix. My one claim was on an Instagram post in 2019. Picture of my wife. You go back and look at it. I said, "Who's going to win? I'm going with Tiger," and he did it. So it was an easy pick, but we'll see if Scotty can do it this year. I'm definitely pulling for him.
I haven't looked at the odds. It does seem to be Scotty versus the field, but
Yeah,
I'll tell you, every time that happens, there's always somebody or something that takes place on like a Friday late or a Saturday morning, and then all of a sudden Sunday's up for grabs. So hopefully it'll be close, be a good one to watch, some good competition. Like you said, maybe 15 is the deciding hole this year.
maybe we'll see. Just over a week away now.
That's right. Well, Zach, we really appreciate you jumping in. For all of our listeners, make sure you go to the AugustaGolfCollective.com. You can check out, I think it's Golf Augusta on Instagram and everywhere else, and we'll make sure to tag it all in the notes. For Robbie and Zach, this is Jonathan, and this has been another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.
Awesome. Enjoyed it, guys. Looking forward to the Masters.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Atomic Golf. If you need custom ball markers, divot repair tools, and more that are made from high-quality materials like solid copper and brass and look really good, then you should check out our friends at Atomic Golf. If courses like Old Barnwell, Landman, Sweetens Cove, and more are already working with them, then you should too. Visit atomicgolf.club and follow them on Instagram at Atomic Golf.